In a world that constantly urges us to stay, to explain, to forgive, and to keep giving chances, there lies a deeper truth. Respect is not earned through endless availability but through strategic absence. This article is a distilled reflection on a core Machiavellian insight. Power does not lie in presence alone, but in thessalence that follows a meaningful exit. When someone disrespects you and you stay, you unconsciously announce that your value is negotiable. They may not read philosophy, but they instinctively understand supply and demand. Abundance cheapens, scarcity exalts. The more you plead your case, explain your pain, or beg for clarity, the more you dilute your worth. Every explanation becomes excess inventory on the emotional market. The rarest thing you can offer is not more words, it's your absence. Disappearing isn't passive, it is a powerful act of self-respect. It is not a tantrum but a treaty, a redrawing of your personal borders. When you leave calmly, with no theatrics, you shift the dynamic. Those who played games with your attention suddenly find themselves scrambling for the piece that's gone. They revisit messages, invent reasons for your silence, and speculate about your transformation. Your quiet withdrawal disrupts their narrative more than any confrontation ever could. The moment you stop reacting, you stop being an experiment. In toxic dynamics, every hurt is a test to see how much you'll tolerate. When you finally stop responding, no essays, no explanations, just stillness, you become the variable they can't control. The more unpredictable you become, the more power you wield. Forgiveness, when granted, should be private. Public forgiveness too often becomes a revolving credit line for repeat offenders. Quiet forgiveness is internal peace. It's money under the mattress, not a loan they can default on again. Your stillness is not pettiness. It's protection. Critics will call your silence ego, immaturity, stubbornness. That's the price of reclaiming your self-worth in a world that profits from your confusion. Remember, people benefiting from your blurred boundaries will always accuse you of being the problem when you finally draw the line. Silence is not sulking, it's strategy. It grants you the space to audit your own role. Why did you allow what you did? What crack in your self-respect let someone's disrespect take root? Answering honestly is the first step in building a new foundation that others can no longer destabilize. When they come back, and they will, it'll be in the form of nostalgia-laced messages, breadcrumb emojis, and feigned curiosity. Decline to engage. Patience is your power. Let them feel the consequences of your absence. Machiavelli reminds us that fortune favors the bold, and nothing is bolder than withdrawal backed by unwavering self-belief. Walking away teaches you something that staying never could. Detachment is a muscle. At first it aches, but with repetition it becomes second nature. Eventually, distance becomes your default reflex to disrespect. Your silence no longer merely wounds, it builds. In that silence, you find clarity, energy, and direction. The exhaustion you once felt wasn't from overwork, but from under-respect. You stop rehearsing rebuttals in your head. Your days no longer orbit the whims of those who don't value you. You shift from trying to prove your worth to living it. This is what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." In modern terms, stop explaining. Start becoming. As your life improves, physically, mentally, financially, those who once took you for granted may try to re-enter your life. They'll mask curiosity with compliments. Beware of praise that arrives before contribution. Test allies in silence. Machiavelli warned that mercenaries fight only while being paid. Modern ones come disguised as cheerleaders. True self-respect demands ritual. Audit your emotions, train your body, refine your skills, control your finances. Build fortresses, not facades. When whispers return calling you cold or unreachable, let them. Your absence unsettles those who once exploited your presence. Over time, your solitude evolves into sovereignty. You cultivate relationships rooted in elevation, not need. You outgrow the chaos and replace it with competence. Critics may say you've changed, but change is the point. When old temptations whisper, ask, will this restore or just relive? If it's the latter, keep walking. Eventually, you cross a new frontier, where forgiveness exists without reunion and peace travels light, unburdened by bitterness. Even when adversity strikes again, a loss, a setback, a betrayal, you don't scramble. Your principles have become your armor. What once would have undone you now barely dents your resolve. Detachment has transformed into creative freedom. Your experiments no longer seek approval. You fail forward, not backward. And when old ghosts reach out with, "Can we talk?" you realize they miss the version of you that sacrificed, not the one that survived. That version no longer lives here. You now mentor others, guiding them through the same exit you once feared. Not because you are bitter, but because your example is their blueprint. Your walk became a map. So when your worth is questioned, don't explain. Withdraw. When loyalty wavers, don't plead. Close the gate. Respect doesn't respond to speeches. It responds to standards. And in the silence you leave behind, the world will finally hear you.